want to ask, because I just tracked this recording down and I listened to it again. It's amazing. Tell me about working with Prince Farai and on Shake the Nation along with Ari Up, and how did you come to meet Ari Up?
Well, Ari, I went to a Clash gig, early Clash gig in this weird theatre in the middle of nowhere in London called the Coliseum, right? And from about the age of 12, got from Roxy gigs and stuff. I'd always go in the afternoon, knock off school, and try and get in free or hide, or try and offer to carry the gear to get some autographs or something, you know, classic fanboy stuff.
Right.
And so I was there early, and early on in the evening, this girl jumped on stage with like men's Superman underpants pulled over her tights. You know, we were all quite young and started hollering. And I was already into like why that Yoko Ono band. Yeah, that crazy one when she's screaming all over the stuff.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I thought, wow, that girl's got some energy. You know, even if we were playing like football or just messing around, you know, I just thought, wow, she's got some energy. And then I can't remember how we got friends with them, but I'd heard that they were having problems with their label or their manager or something. I said to Dick O'Dell, who was helping us, I was going, they're really cool. Why don't we get them on Why? Or why don't we help them or do like I'm saying, I was always into doing co-tours or split singles or working with other bands, because it was you always do benefits, and there was a I can't, you know, that was the first time I saw her, but I got to know Tessa a bit more. Yeah. And then we were just like touring with them a lot. And there he was very close friends with one of my good friends from Bristol, and we'd always go out dancing. There was a club called Phoebe's and the Four Aces, right? Yeah. And then Shaka's Sound System, and I remember going to see Big Youth, you know. Look, yeah, I've been to so many gigs.
Dennis produced their first album, Cut, as well.
I know. In the same studio that we did Why a year later.
Yeah. Well, I imagine you probably know. I'm just kind of saying that for the benefit of anybody that might.
Yeah. I thought this show. Oh, there's somebody actually listening. I thought it was just us.
Oh, we hope there is. We hope so, Mark. Oh, so yeah. Tell me about that Prince Farai session, though. That's really intriguing.
Yeah, so that's the funniest thing. I was squatting in the square where they filmed the film Performance, right?
Yes. Yeah.
With drag queen who later was Alana Pile, right? Who sang on some on new stuff, right? Somebody Biz Energy and some other sort of, you know, Ladbroke Grove punks. And I got to know Adrian, right? Because Rough Trade Shop was just down the road and everybody was just like hanging out, you know, and we had a mutual friend, Steve, from World Domination Enterprises, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, just mates in the Grove and reggae clubs and reggae gigs. And me and Abe just got on so well, and he was basically delivering records for a wholesaler. And I was, you know, I didn't have a lot to do, so him and Brady would just come and pick me up in the mornings in their van, and we'd just drive around reggae shops dropping off records, right? And he said, and one afternoon there was a lad in the car, and I said, oh, what's your name? He said, Prince Hammer. I said, oh my God, 10,000 lions, mate. You know, I wanted to give him a hug, but you don't.
Yeah.
And then Aid said, oh, I got to go and get Farai. And I said, oh, you know, you keep cool. Do you know what I mean? But I'd already grown up on like heavy manners and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And we went to this council flat that Farai was in with his wife, right? And this is the estate. And all I remember is we sat in the kitchen and this woman going, Farai, your porridge is ready. It was like the big bad movie. I thought he was going to come in, some like it hot, some like it cold, you know. But it really reminded me of like sort of Bristol sort of old folk singer, but sort of gypsy folk singers. Anyway, yeah. So that's when I first met Farai, and then we were always trying to hustle each other, everybody's sessions. Whenever anybody was in a studio, you'd always turn up and try and get some tape copy or nick the drummer or get something done if somebody had some studio time. There was this, you know, basement studio that everybody would just be hanging around in called Berry Street. And Adrian was down there, and I think me and Ari went there after Shaka because he was doing a late night session, because you'd get really cheap rates after like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Lockouts or whatever they're called.
Right.
And he was doing a Farai song, and he said, can you and Ari sing backups for Farai? And looking back, I mean, incredible.